sole purpose of hopefully what you're about to participate in is our demo day. It's our third session of the day. We've seen, by the end of this, 17 games across 13 game genres that are all early stage, mostly bootstrap founders. So we want to run through our panelists, many of which will be popping in and out as the sessions roll. We have Andrew Friday, ex-product leader at Glue, Zynga. We got the one, the only Fluke, Web3 indie gaming's largest champion, from Knights of the Ether / Arbitrum, Questbook, Community, DAO, all things above. We have Max Torres, founder of Taco 3 Ventures, investor Bryn. Did I get that right? Or is it Ben? I feel like it might be Bryn. Did I get that
Yeah,
right?
it's brand. It's brand. Correct.
I crushed it. Nice.
Yes.
All right. Ecosystem growth at Seri Network. Responsible for Seri Play and a 15-year veteran in the video game hardware industry. How about that? We have the one, the only JRP, the most networked man in Web3. Federico Kessler, VC at Funfair Ventures, specializing in backing early stage Web3 indie games. Sam Barbary, head of strategy and partnerships at Sequence. And Sandbox from Game 3 SGG. So those are all our panelists that'll be popping in and out. Actually, no, I missed one. What's up, Biz? Biz, how you doing, man? The Round Table. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So today you're going to be seeing a bunch of games presenting. We have 1208 presenting SoCan Beat Battle, OX Sama presenting Hey Chef, Dante presenting Mosh Pit, Unfamiliar Dude presenting Unfamiliar Territory. We have Soul presenting Hatchieverse. Who knows? Maybe one or two teams who missed the first sessions might pop in to share with their stuff with us too. So how this works, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pass it over to a game. They're going to have 10 minutes to present. At the end of their 10 minutes, feel free to ask any questions. At the very end, we're all going to have a poll. We're going to vote on which game we found the most interesting or exciting. Now, before I pass it over, I do want to give one more shout out to all of our fabulous sponsors of the event. In no particular order, Sequence, building Web3 games with ease. Sequence is the leading all-in-one Web3 development platform for games. The Blockchain Game Alliance. The Blockchain Game Alliance is an organization committed to promoting blockchain tech within the game industry. The Arbitrum DAO, dedicated to the decentralization, security, and growth of Arbitrum tech, as well as a grant provider of the Gaming Startup Collective. The Game 7 DAO, a collective built to accelerate the blockchain gaming industry through grants, education, and strategic initiatives. Knights of the Ether, from our friend Fluke, a deck building roguelike GameFi platform and UEFN UGC platform. Web3GG, JRP, founder. Web3GG is the one-stop shop for Web3 gaming professionals to connect, network, and build. Kalman's Forge, which is a Web3 venture studio / idea studio. BlockSafe, your Web3 biz dev and integration partner. From concept to launch, we drive success. The Roundtable, from The Dragon. We empower games and investors to maximize their Web3 journey. Your game, our mission. Let's frickin' go, guys. Come on now.
Very nice.
All right. I'm going to
That was a
shut the
nice
heck up.
intro. Okay.
Thanks, man.
Can you
I'm going
hear
to
me?
shut the heck
Am I
up.
good?
Hey, you're good to go. I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes, and I'll probably give you a little reminder 5 minutes in.
Cool. I'll
Starting
just
now.
talk while I play. The audio doesn't kick in until the actual beat battle currently. But hello everyone. My name's Rob. I go by 1208 AM. I've been a game developer for over 10 years, going on 15 pretty soon. Um, I've also been a musician since I was like 12. Been in bands, countless bands. Did the whole thing in my 20s. And now I'm looking to combine both of my talents here with this game. So first off, this is very, 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 very early preview. We plan to go to market as early as March. Be- Between now and March is a polish pass on the UI. You will notice there'll be minimal UI in today's build. and as well as animation polish. So here we go. So this is Miko. He's the main character. You play with him as you kind of um, explore the cities, streets, back alleys, rooftops, and whatnot. What you're doing is you're the idea of the game. In the end, it will be multiplayer. This first build obviously is not, but the idea is that you will run around, meeting other people and engaging in beat battles in order to collect tokens. Now, those tokens, their use will be for access to the beat battles themselves. So as we come up to the venue here and we see the bouncer, we talk to him. He lets us know that you need an SBB party pass to enter the battle. You can get an SBB party pass in the demo scene district at Cakes of Pie. So it's going to be a specific place where it should show up on my, yeah, there we go. Show up on this here. I'll go this way, go a long way. And so now, when you go to this place, there's a character. He's just a cake. He floats in the air, and he does all the visuals for the show. And he has the only tickets left, which are NFTs. Um, Now, all the logic you see here in game currently does not have any NFT technology associated to it. This is where we have spent most of our time the last, I don't know, 4 months or so, integrating tokens and NFT party passes through Ethereum Polygon network. But we are still agnostic at the moment. We're looking to work with a chain that makes sense for us. But here we go. So you go up to him. He says, you need 100 coins before you can purchase a pass from me. That's just an arbitrary number because I capped it to 5 for today's demo for the sake of time. So for the demo, since we're not going to have multiplayer ready, we're working on a mechanic where we're gating tokens with a with a timer. But that is currently under production and will be scrapped once we implement the multiplayer. So I go back to my guy here, Cake, and he says, "You've purchased a pass. Congratulations." Obviously, with the new UI, there's something much more flashy and eye candy prepared for that. But now we're essentially ready to go back now that we've minted our NFT and enter the beat battle. So hopefully there's no audio issues because if not, then I'll just restart the battle. So I go to him. He says, "You can now enter." Yay. So what I've done here, this first build when we go to market for beta 1 will not have any crypto, but I'm sort of starting to introduce like the mechanics as to how it's going to be integrated into the game. Our most simplest way to do this to get started with is gating party passes. So like I said, under the hood, well, the door needs to be animated, obviously. But we are now in our beat battle environment. I'll do a little bit of exploration just so you guys can see some of my environment work. There's a little arcade here. Obviously, this is kind of like a techno scene. The music is by my friend. His name is Hacks, and he's very much techno. So this is gonna be filled with a lot of people in here. And as soon as we get over here in the spotlight, we can get the battle going. Now, please let me know if there's no audio that kicks off right when I step into the light here. You guys got audio?
We got audio.
Yep.
You can still hear me?
Yep.
All right,
Yes.
cool. Usually it's hard to talk over the music, but hopefully we're good. Now, the UI stuff that goes in for the March build will be most concentrated here, because you will notice you guys have no clue what buttons I'm pressing, but I do. It's a simple call and response type of gameplay. I call it copycat. He's gonna throw down like this layer, the stem layer, which is the kick drum, and then I'll have my turn afterwards to match what he does. I only have to clear half of them in order to proceed to the next part. All right, cool. So I got through the bass drum. Next is the hi-hats, I believe. Yeah. And so at the bottom here, you're gonna see actually the layout of the key bed. Currently, it would be Alt button to get the hi-hats going, but I gotta focus on my own game.
Heads up,
We got the
four
claps.
minutes, 4 minutes to go.
All right, cool. It's actually perfect. Give me a little time to talk afterwards if anybody's got questions. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna lay down the clap here. Sweet. Now the next section is where this system starts to fall apart a little bit. What this is for is for beats and short samples, uh, but we're starting to get into synthesizer territory here. Now this verse here is fine, but you'll notice the last verse to beat the beat battle is a lot more complex, um, and the audio falls apart a little. And it's because this is meant for short sampled drum samples. The good news is we already have a system put in place for synthesizers. It's just that we don't want to release that until beta 2. So it'll give people a reason to come back um, to the next beta to see the beat battles expanded on. And I can touch more on that as far as our go-to-market plan um, after I'm done here. Because we will have multiple chances to hit the market with every build as we're building in public. So you'll see here this last part. It's actually going to be multiple notes, and we'll be using the keypad at the bottom from the spacebar up to like ASDFG. So you could hit in multiple notes. It's just I had to choose what to give out and what to show for today, and make sure it was stable enough. And since it has a lot to do with UI, I had to leave it out. All right. So the pausing in the audio is due to the sample being too long for the system. But like I said, this is already fixed, and you will see it integrated with the new UI system because it's all connected, right? And so now I actually beat it. There will be a jumping up and down happy animation for him showing that he beat the battle. The crowd around him will gather close to him, and then a UI window will pop up. It'll lead you to the website, lead you to the NFTs if you want, any promotional things that we want for this first demo one will pop up here, and it'll have all the hyperlinks you need to continue with supporting us in the game. Um, so that's my demo for today, guys. Um, I'll try to turn on my camera. I had it on earlier so we can talk if you guys have any questions. But
Wow.
here we go. Open to questions if anybody's got them.
That was great, man. I'm left with the feeling that any user who jumps in and plays that game is not going to forget it anytime soon. And that alone is a amazing feat.
Thanks,
Tremendous
man.
work.
Thanks. I'm making the game I've always wanted to make, obviously. So I hope the one thing that gets across here is my passion for what I'm building here, my
Yeah.
drive. Um, I've been able to get this up to this state by myself and with the help of a couple of engineers on the crypto side. And then when I really got into the nitty gritty of this beat sequencer, my gameplay engineer helped me out a little bit because he thinks of these things as systems when I brute force um, functionality, and he actually made it so I can reuse these systems and make multiple songs out of it. So
Nice.
shout out to Stefan if he's here right now. But if you guys have any questions, I can share more as far as our go-to-market plan. A little bit. I don't want to share everything, but I'm open
Yeah,
to anything you want
yeah, if I
to discuss.
can quickly jump in. So the in the beginning you purchased the NFT pass in game. I
Mhm.
assume that will be custody wallets
Yes.
to make it seamless.
Yeah, so right now we've actually partnered with Invo Technologies. They're the ones who actually are going to provide the technology for us to inbound and export user wallets. They have a fee on the in and the out, which we both split, and it seems to be a really cool tech. So I'm looking forward to working with them for beta 2.
Okay, cool. And then regarding the music, you'll allow the community to, since you're making a dynamic system, you'll allow the community to make their own music and integrate that as well into the game and battle each other on music they create, or that's a bit too far ahead.
Yes, that is the, let's say, 2.0 version of this. Now there's that and multiplayer that is very important for us to bring in, right? Um, but for now, we're going to build in public, and as these things come in, we'll announce them with each beta drop, so that people can continue the interest in the game until we're done with it, right?
Okay.
My
Yeah.
plan is to release them episodically. So all of this is for the aim of completing level one, episode one, and we're shooting for the end of this year for that.
Cool. And then to touch on the multiplayer, that part is not completely clear. I understand you'll be battling each other, but how will the challenge level be set? Because that will be linked to the different songs.
Yes. Okay. So here, actually, I'll share the let me share the pitch deck for a sec because it actually explains what you're talking about. And what we plan on doing here is GD user generated content, specifically with hold on, I need to get out of here. Okay. Can you guys see the web browser?
Yes.
All right, cool. So this is my little pitch deck here. SoCon Beat Battle New Generation in Music. Our grand idea here is really to bring together the bedroom producer and the gamer. So, excuse me. Our system that we're putting together, now we have a couple of ways of doing this, and we're designing a couple of them. Um, one will be completely manual, where you can bring in your stems, your song stems. You can line them up to the BPM that's appropriate, and then input the the hits, right, that you want to sync with the music at the appropriate times. Now, we're also looking into automated technology to doing that, where it brings in the audio files and detects the onset audio and puts markers down. And then thirdly, we are partnered with Pixel Links, and what they're developing is really great. It's AI generated music that spits out the whole song with all its stems, which we could then bring into the game, which, I really see as a value with multiplayer because it would keep the replayability fresh with new music and having players strive to collect tokens for all time new music all the time. And we're partnering with them so that even people can make their stuff on their platform and bring it into ours is the plan. Um, so yeah, there's some user
Fantastic.
generated content there for multiplayer. That's just step three, and we're at step point one. So like I said, this is
Wait,
a very, very early preview, even for beta one. But I didn't want to pass up the opportunity to maybe get some talks going with people who might be aligned with what I'm trying to do here. Yeah.
so everyone, I would say, well, first 1208, fantastic job. Super exciting to see where you take this project. It is time for us to move on to our next guest. But if
Thank you
you,
very much.
panelists, thank you, 1208. Panelists, if you have any additional questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. And 1208, I imagine, will be pretty responsive on those. All right.
Thank you.
Now, thanks, 12. Appreciate you. All right. Now we're moving on to Hey Chef. So, Hey Chef turns cooking delicious and nutritious food at home a fun and rewarding experience. Sama, I'm going to pass it over to you. You got 10 minutes starting now.
Hi guys, thanks for the opportunity to present our project to you. I promise I won't bother you with a 40-slide PowerPoint, but let me start the demo with 2 slides to give you the full picture of the project. My name is Kevin, and I'm one of the founders of A-Chef, an AI-powered app using Web3 features to gamify the cooking activity. We are still at an early stage, but we have already launched a Web2 MVP, and we will enter in the beta testing stage for our Web3 features in mid-February. Our mission is to help users regain control of their diet. We turn cooking delicious and healthy food at home into a fun and a rewarding experience because we are convinced that gamification coupled with an AI companion will help users develop healthy habits and begin to love the cooking process. A few words about the team. Our team is composed of 4 founders, including 2 tech guys, 1 serial entrepreneur, and 1 finance guy. Maxime is a software engineer with experience in the aerospace and healthcare industries. Andrea is a Web3 and front-end developer. Davi has successfully built 3 different digital marketing businesses in France and is a former pro gamer. And I have a 10 years background in corporate finance and M&A. Okay, That's it for the boring slides, but if you want some more, just let us know and we will be happy to share our deck with you. So now let's start the demo.
Hey guys, so in this demo we will focus on the gamification side, which includes the Web3 features. But before that, let's just have a look at the Web2 part and AI features we propose so far. So as you can see, the app is designed to help users from A to Z in their home cooking experience. With additional cool features like the AI companion and of course the game. So from the main page, you can do multiple things. For example, you can discover new recipes by choosing some categories or tags. Let's say, for example, if you want to eat Chinese. Also, you can explore cookbooks. You can create, save, and share the favorite cookbooks, and then you can use the search engine to refine your search. So, for example, you can include or exclude some specific ingredients. You can search within a category, like if you are looking from French recipes exclusively. And you can also search by preparation time or level of difficulty. Can you click on the recipe? Thank you. So for each recipe, you can adjust the number of servings, view key nutritional information, and automatically generate shopping lists based on the ingredients. And then in the future, hopefully, you will be able to connect your shopping list to local grocery stores. So we have also the AI companion. You can access it from the main page or the bottom bar. The AI companion is central in our app. Currently, it allows you to generate customized recipes for you based on your preferences and equipment that you can define in your profile page. And tomorrow, this AI companion will also help you to work with you to determine an appropriate diet plan and help you plan your weekly meals. And also follow the nutritional requirements of your diet and suggest you to try some delicious recipes you may like.
Okay, so now let's focus on the gamification features. First of all, just keep in mind that we gamify the cooking activity because it takes on average 65 days to start a new habit, and that gamification is one of the most powerful tools to keep you motivated while having fun. Our game is a RPG-like game, and the principle is really simple. First, you manage your restaurant and your brigade. 2, you pick a chief, which is an NFT. 3, you choose a recipe. 4, you cook it. And by the way, we call this action a cooking. 5, you share your meal with pictures. And 6, you get rewarded during a season. The game is structured into seasons, which each season introducing a new token and resetting the user's progression. You can see that the game main page leads you to the restaurant, which is composed of a level number, an energy bar, the number of cooking left per day, and the experience bar to reach the next level. From the restaurant, you can manage your brigade, which is composed of chiefs. Managing your brigade will help you to grind the different ladders and execute different strategies. So now let's have a look on the brigade. You can add up to 5 chiefs, depending on your restaurant level, who will help you to diversify your cuisine and your strategies, depending on their level, their speciality, and their specificities. Now, if we focus on the chief specificities, we have efficiency, resilience, and expertise, which increase the cooking reward only if the cooked dish matches the cook specialty, the chief specialty. These statistics can be further improved by equipping some items which are tradable in the marketplace. So now let's focus on the quests.
Hey,
You can
Samba,
notice that.
real quick,
Yeah.
just heads up, you got 4 minutes, my friend.
Okay, sweet. We have two kinds of quests, the daily, weekly quests, and the quest lines. Daily quests are designed to bring diversity in the gameplay in order to help the player to have a diversified diet. And the quest line, they are based on the season or weekly theme. For example, French Food Week, but which does take into account your personal goals. For example, I want to have a balanced diet or I want to gain muscles. If you see, you see here that the question introduction and the reward associated with the quest, the reward are composed of experience points and spoons, which are the season's token and which are named for the tasting season. The season token is not an investment token, but it's supporting the in-app game action and could be swapped against the blockchain native token that we will use. Native tokens will be used in our internal marketplace, and sorry for the moment, we can show the marketplace. Now if we go back to the restaurant, now you have all the basics, and I propose to do a cooking. We have seen that one of the open quests at the moment does include the use of a zucchini, so we will look for a recipe based on this ingredient. The user can easily find the zucchini-based recipe using the precise filters. Once the player has selected the recipe they want to use, they simply have to start the cooking process. Before starting to cook IRL, the player will be asked to take a first photo using his phone, where he will have to capture all the ingredients of the recipe in one unique photo. This photo serves as a first proof in the cooking process. Then the player is invited to follow the recipe steps, and in the last steps, the player is asked to take picture of the final result. It should look like the recipe picture shown as an example, and this is the final proof of the cooking. He then needs to validate the cooking and send it for validation. Now we can go to the validation tab. All players will be invited to validate all the players cooking every day based on our calculation. Players will have to validate up to 4 or 5 cooking a day. A validation pool is a pool where 5 players have to give their opinion on a cooking. So to be clear, when you submit a cooking, 5 players must accept or reject your dish. If at least 3 out of 5 players accept it, then you can claim your reward. As you can see, we can claim 20 XP points and 30 spoons from this quest. And when the player receives his reward, he can directly upgrade his brigade by allocating new characteristic point to his selected NFT. And for sure, allocating points will be the basis of the player strategy. And last thing we want to share with you is the wallet tab. We want the experience to be as seamless as possible and onboard a maximum of Web2 users. So we will propose 2 wallets, one custodial to allow fast app interaction that will be principally used to receive and spend the season token, and one non-custodial wallet to allow the user to ramp in and ramp out the native token that will be used in the marketplace. Okay, so that's all for me, guys. We are HF, we are bootstrapped, and thanks for your attention. Feel free to ask any question you may have.
I was on mute. Fantastic work. Great job. It makes me think of other lifestyle GameFi applications like StepIn. And if I wasn't mistaken, while you're cruising through your slides, when people upload their little proof of what they've cooked, looked like you had a social share button there, which is very smart. I like that. All right, passing it over to our panelists. What questions or comments do you have for our friends at Hey Chef? Luke says, very user-friendly UI. Chef in it. 1208 says, yes, UI is super nice. Doctor.
Yeah, we have worked a lot on it because we want to onboard a maximum of Web2 users, so they are very sensitive to the UI and UX stuff.
Fantastic. Yep. So we got 2 questions piling in for you here. One from the one, the only, JRP. Can you do this without Web3? What's the benefit of incorporating Web3?
Yeah, I was expecting this question. The main benefit is for the cryptocurrency side because we have we need a big in-game economy, and so it's easier for us to mine the token each season because we are season based, uh, and then have our own pool of liquidities. We could do that in a Web2 by going only a full Web2, but then you have to deal with with fiat currencies, and then you will have some legal issues. So it is much easier to go crypto in this aspect.
Great answer. Great answer. This is a comment from Sam over at Sequence. FYI, you can run all that under one non-custodial wallet that still won't require transaction signing and would work with your ERC20. So would the in-game marketplace. So hopefully that's helpful for you there.
Yeah, we need to call guys from Sequence about this topic.
Yes. Call Sam right now. Hang up right now and call
Yeah,
Sam.
we will.
Yeah, so Sam has a comment here. I feel like you could do some very cool collabs too, made easier with blockchain. Do something cool with Bon Appetit. Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, you guys have done a few campaigns with celebrity chefs or influencer chefs. Is that right?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
we have several chief streamers on Twitch, and the most known of it is Happy Chef TV. He has something like 45K followers or 50K, I don't remember. And so the basic was to make them validate the product. So we know that everything which is related to the cuisine, to the recipe, and to the AI is validated by real chef IRL. So yeah, we work with some real chef.
Fantastic. All right, so to keep on with time, I got to shut down our Hey Chef questions. Looks like there's a couple more piling through. Hey Chef team, thank you for sharing your project with us. Appreciate it. Awesome. And if you guys do have outstanding questions for Hey Chef or comments, drop them in the comments section. Their team will be reviewing there and getting some responses back over to you. Without further ado, we are joined by Dante from Mosh Pit. Mosh Pit is an electrifying top-down party brawler that merges the worlds of different music genres in a symphony of chaotic combat. I'm passing it over to you, Dante. Your 10 minutes starts now.
Thank you, Ryan. And yeah, just can you confirm me you heard me well? Because I'm gonna run the game through my phone and I'm speaking.
Sound good.
Perfect. Yeah, so even before I start talking, I want to share my screen and show you a little bit of gameplay, and then we do some talk. So for that, let me share my screen right now. And so is it showing right?
Yes, we see your Discord. Yep, now we're tabbed over. Now we're on the game.
Got it. So now you will see a little bit of mosh pit action, and I will turn this sound down so you can. You heard little music?
Yep.
It's a little faint, but we can hear it. Yes.
I think it's fine. So it's a little rock metal music, so we better keep it low. So now I'm joining a multiplayer match, and now we're basically joining the mosh pit of a rock concert. And now you can see some action. Where we battle peace out each other during 10 minutes. I'll have my cookie. So this is Moshpit, and this is what we are building for our new project. I will stop playing now and get back to the call. So basically, what we have right now, you can see it's our actual playable version on mobile for Moshpit, and I'm playing on an iPhone. So the thing that you're seeing here, it's myself bottling out a bunch of bots because the game is not live yet. So we have built up a boss system so we can have smooth transitions between your matches experience. So you don't need to wait for other players to actually join. So they basically function as a fillers. So what's Moshpit? Let me start there and let me get back to Discord. You hear me right? I'm now back in my PC.
Oh, looks like we may have lost your audio there, Dante. Can you hear us?
I'm here. You hear me?
While you're getting that sorted, the chat was going wild. LMAO, this is sick.
I can hear you, Dante.
I love it.
Okay. So you hear me right? And now you should be seeing me.
Is it just me?
Oh.
I can hear him. So, Fluke, Maxime, can you guys hear him?
We can hear Dante.
I'll get
okay,
on
I'll
my
shut
end.
up then. Sorry, guys. Go take it over, Dante.
Okay. So I'm sharing now a little pitch deck here. Can you confirm me if you see it?
All good.
All right. So what we have right now here, it's Moshpit Battles. We have been developing the game for the last months, where we are envisioning to create an experience where we basically get your friends, your players, and battle through a music concert. We have been iterating the game several times because what we have been doing is running some like focus groups and talking with some publishers and PCs. So let me explain what have you seen on my phone and what we are working on. What you saw playing in my phone is our kind of like first version of Moshpit, which it's a chaotic like brawler, but every single character it's based on rock metal genre, and also all the characters have the same move sets and skills. So basically, it's a level field where everyone is just like punching and mashing and having fun. There's nothing wrong with that, but since there's no variations, we ended up with a conflict ourselves as a team where we needed to add more layers to the game depth. So we are working now on Moshpit Battles, which is kind of like our 2.0 version of the game, and where we are basically taking the battles to the next level of depth, where we have different like game modes as we had in the mobile version. Free for all, didn't mention all that, but now we have incorporated different genres of music, and we are now working through like genres factions. So you will have to pick your faction, and let's say you like hip hop instead of rock, so you join the hip hop faction. And let's say my friend have a taste for K-pop, so he joined the K-pop faction. So you basically pick your favorite genre and represent it inside the game. So you go to battle with other genres. So we can have all those fantasies coming to reality when we fight like the rock versus pop, the rock versus hip hop, and we can actually create our own like guilds and and fight each other in the mosh pit. Now we like it the game mosh pit, the name mosh pit. So for now we're keeping it as mosh pit, even though not all like music are for mosh pit, right? So we have now a different variation of characters representing different like genres of music, but also they have their own arenas. So you basically have the arena of rock, hip hop, pop, K-pop, even reggaeton. It's inside the mix, and you can see the different like character that we have in development. The one that I used in my gameplay was the rock one. It's called Johnny, and you have hip hop, pop, reggaeton, EMD, and K-pop in the pipeline right now. Those characters are being developed inside the game, not only because of the art, but because each of one of them have different like move sets and skills. So that will add a depth to the game where if you only play kind of like the rock, you might find yourself in disadvantage to a different character, similar to rock paper scissors game, right? When you have advantage to some, but not to all of them, and that's the like adding value that we are adding to the game compared to the previous version that we had, and that's where we are building right now, alongside with the different arenas and also some like luck factor incorporated in the gameplay with in-game boosters and items, so you can have different abilities through the match.
All right, folks. So sorry about me rugging. My internet is doing the best it can, which is not very good. Dante, that was great. I'm back.
Nice.
All right, folks. So we should likely move on to our next project here. Any final questions before we move on?
Maybe a quick one. How does the PvP work? Is it somebody chooses quote unquote a map and then they can play their song, or you mash the music of both groups?
Yeah, basically what we have in the building right now, it's a matchmaking where when you start a game, the pool of players decide on voting which stage is going to be played. The stages vary because each state has different like hazards and like designs. So the thing is that each like arena represent different genres. So it's more on the voting side right now.
Great. Dante, thank you, man. Thank you for sharing your project with us. It looks super fun. Can't wait to finally play it.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, folks. Moving on down the line. Now we're bringing up to the stage Unfamiliar Dude, also known as Brian, from Unfamiliar Territory. Now, Unfamiliar Territory. Brian, founder of a Gaming for Good initiative. His project brings clean drinking water to families through gaming and entertainment products. Their playable demo is live, and NFT integration is 85% finished. Brian, stage is all yours, my friend. 10 minutes, starting now. Oh, hold on. I think you might be on mute. It gets me every time, too. Yeah, so it should be bottom center screen, hopefully. Thank you, guys. No, Dante, thank you, man. Thank you for sharing your project.
There we go. Gosh, too many buttons to click here.
Nice. All right. All yours, man.
Hey, Brian, before we get started, thank you for putting this together, man. This has been awesome. Watching the games have been sweet, so good job. Hope everybody can see my screen okay. I do have some videos to show you guys, so if you can't hear the audio, just let me know before we go too far. All right, so Simon Sinek says that people really don't want to know what you're doing, but they do want to know why you're doing it. So before we get started, I just kind of want to tell everybody a little bit about why we're building the games that we're building. To do that, I'm going to introduce you to a good friend of mine. His name is Matt Peterson. He is the CEO of Hydrating Humanity. I've known Matt, since we were in grade school together. So without further ado, this is Matt Peterson and Hydrating Humanity.
I was in Tanzania sitting on my balcony, and I looked over the balcony and caught eyes with a young man who ran up to me and said, "Give me water." One of the crisis situations in the world is the waterborne disease crisis. There are just under 700 million people on the planet that lack access to safe, clean drinking water. Right now, there are about 2,000 children a day under the age of 5 that die due to waterborne diseases. That's the equivalent of about 75 school buses full of kindergartners that perish every single day. What we do at Hydrating Humanity is provide access to safe, clean drinking water. We provide hygiene education. We have indigenous people on the ground who are doing this work, who are helping change the lives of hundreds of thousands of people every day. We get to play a part. We get to have a role in changing this right now, helping villages have safe, clean drinking water for the first time in their history. Thousands, tens of thousands of years, never had clean drinking water. We can provide that for them right now.
Pretty powerful stuff. Hard sometimes to talk over that because it really hits you hard. 700 million people need clean drinking water, and they don't have it. We've got so used to having clean drinking water from our tap. It's amazing the people that we work with. Start off, I'm Brian Gray. I'm the founder and CEO of Unfamiliar Territory. We're a Gaming for Good initiative, and we've partnered with Hydrating Humanity to build wells in East Africa. Hydrating Humanity has built so far over 1,300 wells to date, and our own community just finished our first well in Tanzania. It serves over 500 families a day. So for them, those families, we've made a real tangible difference in their daily lives. And we want to bring real world solutions to big problems through gaming. That being said, let's get on to the games. So you're going to notice we have 3 phases. And it might be just a little confusing because we have 3 different games going on. But the first step's to build a community, and then phase 2 is to grow and monetize it, and I'll go into that in a bit. And then phase 3 is to scale out our AAA game. So phase 1, build a community. We've chosen Discord to be our main hub of interaction. They've got over 250 million active users, and all players need is an internet connection, and this means they can play on mobile or PC. So we realized while we're building this beautiful AAA game that our community needed something to do for the next 4 to 5 years while that game was being built. So we built a Discord idle farming game. It's built around the Unfamiliar Territory story. It's a check-in game that players can plant, harvest, go adventuring, finish quests. It's basically an idle farming game. We wanted a game that brings players back several times a day, and our alpha testers have been logging about 8 to 12 hours a week playing it. It's very addictive. And again, this is in very early alpha. We've got about a dozen people in there testing it, just having fun with it. So we felt really good about those kind of hours being logged every week. It also gives us the ability to jumpstart our economy early. So the assets in the game, seeds, food, structures, weapons, armor, they're all NFTs that can be used later in the upcoming AAA game. So you can grind for that epic sword and still use it later. When you start playing, the first thing you're going to notice is the ease of onboarding new players. Just type begin, and the game prompts for an email address, and in the background the player wallet is created, and it's tied directly to the Discord username and email. So no bridges or MetaMask mumbo jumbo. It's just an easy Web 2 type integration. Might be easier to kind of show you. This is kind of sped up, but did a quick video just to kind of show you a preview.
Welcome, traveler, to unfamiliar territory. Meet Kirby, a young soulbuster. Help him grow and harvest crops. Make delicious recipes. Travel to distant lands. Find wells and refill your water flask. Keep a close watch on your energy. Go adventuring and slay monsters. Time to upgrade the equipment. And spend some gold on a new sword. Easy wallet creation using the score. For a seamless user transaction. All items are digital collectibles and playable in our upcoming AAA game.
All right, so that is our little Discord game. It's been a lot of fun putting together. Just a quick background on it. It was 100% written by AI, and it's been a lot of fun. Where we're at with it, the Discord game's about 80% finished. The NFT integration's almost done, and we also have an upcoming loot box sale and a River token launch. All right, let's talk about phase 2. Last year, probably the biggest question I heard was, how do we bring Web 2 players into Web 3? I believe we need to go where the players already are. And basically that means by utilizing Unreal Engine Fortnite Creator, we are leveraging all of Fortnite's assets and mechanics, and we have access to their player base of almost 500 million users. If you aren't familiar with UEFN, it allows multiple users to build maps on multiple platforms like PC and Xbox. So you could have a couple creators building while a dozen players are playing the map, and this is all at the same time. So we want to build a community of creators, builders, and players. So let me say that one more time. We want to build a community, builders, players, and creators. We see a big opportunity here. We can use this platform to build our gameplay, our audience, and we can live stream it all at the same time. And we can iterate our gameplay based directly on user feedback and build our audience as we go. So we can invite special guest influencers to play, live stream, and give our audience a chance to play with us as well. And this is all within our own ecosystem. Epic is also putting up a 40% of their revenues to build on their platform. That was $6 billion last year. There are single map creators. One guy built a map called Always Up. They're making over $1 million a year, and Epic is looking for more studios building engaging games on their platform. And we think our game is a perfect fit. But we have something that Web 2 creators don't. We have the ability to reward Web 2 players with Web 3 assets, bringing them into our community and our future games. Phase 3 is building out our AAA game. This is a giant battle between islands with flying airships and a robust AI-driven world. We've been using AI for the past about year and a half for our NPCs. And we envision our game like a Sim City on steroids. Each NPC has its own daily task, goes about its day. When confronted with opportunity, it'll make a decision based on its personality. So when the player logs out, the character will continue to farm and mine depending on its traits. This helps stabilize the economy, and it makes up for players coming and going, which is a huge problem. This is giving us the first AI-generated economy. We believe that a good game also starts with a great story, and this one has it all. So it's a tale as old as time, love and war, and we've released 6 chapters, and I've got about 4 more chapters left to release. In fact, I'm just going to give you a quick peek at what we're building. I think it'll be easier to kind of explain it through video.
Real
What you're
quick,
about to watch is a combination. What's that?
real quick. I was just gonna say, so we are at time, but if you have one more last thing to show, and then we'll get you a few questions
Yep.
from the panelists.
Yep. Let me just do the last one. So this is basically a combination of AI and Unreal Engine, and the sceneries from our in-game shots, and our map is bigger than the first Red Dead Redemption, and the characters are all generated by AI. This is pretty short, so.
May the blessing of Nuh be upon you. May you walk in peace, and only take up the axe if you must. But if you must, fight with honor and fight to win. Discover the world of unfamiliar territory.
All right, there you go, guys. Any questions I can answer?
Great job, man. Great job. Yeah, so we got one coming in from Sam over at Sequence. Where is UEFN in terms of Web3 policy right now?
I'm sorry, you're cutting out. I couldn't hear that.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's kind of cutting in and out though. I can read it
Uh-oh.
if you want to.
Yeah,
Word in there?
please. Yes, thank you.
Oh, is that the where's UEFN in terms of Web3 policies right now? Honestly, we're not looking at UEFN as a Web3 portion of this. This is just to bring players in. So we're going to reward them with Web3 assets, but we're not expecting them to actually play it in game right now. So that's not a part of our plan. In fact, the UEFN side, this may sound a little weird, but it's kind of our escape plan if things go really badly in crypto. So those of us who have been building for the last couple of years understand that, the SEC, all these different things could happen. So this gives us another opportunity to build, and if everything were to crash and burn, then we've still got a great platform that we're building on and can still monetize and grow and use all of our assets and everything that we've been worked so hard to use. Hope that answers the question.
Perfect.
What's the?
How's my audio? Oh,
for
go
me,
ahead.
for me, it's good.
Great. Go ahead and ask your question in B.
So how's the transition and link between your AAA title and what you're releasing on UEFN? Because it seems like two different ecosystems,
It
right?
really is. The link is between our Discord game and the AAA game. So those two will have interchangeable assets. The UEFN side of it is really to iterate gameplay and to generate content and give our users something to do inside of Discord. So we're planning on live streaming, having game nights, but it also allows us to see what works as far as gameplay goes. So we can work on our maps, we can work on our gameplay and see what people like, and we can introduce that into the AAA game as well.
Okay, cool.
And
Anybody else?
Just double checking my audio's cleaned up now. I don't sound like a robot.
Yep.
Yeah, it was also good for me before, so might have been a
Alright.
connection then.
Okay. We got one swinging in from Friday. So Friday's Xzenga Web 2 OG. What is going to power the AI NPCs in your game?
So some of that is still, we're working on it, but right now we are using ChatGPT to do all of the back end. We will be moving that over to our own LLM. We've actually taken all of our characters. We're building out personalities as we speak. It's kind of cool. We can actually give our NPCs real personalities that they can use and go off of. But right now, everything is done with ChatGPT. I'm probably in ChatGPT 6 to 8 hours a day, so pretty well versed in ChatGPT.
Perfect. All right, folks. Brian, tremendous job. Thank you for taking the time to share unfamiliar territory with us.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Ryan.
Thank you. Folks, if you have any other questions for Brian, feel free to drop them in the chat. He'll go ahead and reply. And we have one last panelist presenting, or one last game, excuse me. I'm Soul from Hatchieverse. if I'm not mistaken, building on Avalanche. Shout out to our friends over at Avalanche. Hey, can you hear us okay? Souls?
Yeah, man, I can hear you well. Hopefully I'm coming through.
Yeah,
Hey,
coming
man,
through nice and clear.
okay. Okay, I'm not super confident about my internet connection. So, yeah, I'll see when I start sharing the screen. But yeah, maybe I'll just start getting right into it.
Sure. I'll go ahead and start your timer, and then I'll give you a heads up once we're about 5 minutes in, okay?
Alrighty.
It's all yours.
Okay, thanks, man. I should share my screen. Yeah, I wasn't super confident about my internet, so I thought I won't try to run gameplay, but I've got a few videos and a quick slide, a few slides, I guess, to go through. And yeah, I'll let you know a bit about us. I'm Sol. I'm a game dev, indie game dev of about just over a decade, going actually to about 15 years. I've got some corporate experience, mainly focused on game design, specializing in economies. So I was really enthusiastic about crypto and the crossroads of kind of like crypto and Web3 and some of the new opportunities it provides us as kind of like experienced creators to, I guess, like tap into things and regulate and manage things that we couldn't before. So we are Hatchiverse. Hatchiverse is decentralized IP. Probably in this audience, it makes a little bit more sense when I say IP. But to those that don't know, IPs are basically all of the designs and concepts that make up something. So brands are very easy to think about. So if you think of like your favorite brand, everything relating to that brand is part of the brand IP. And sometimes you'll have a difference in like the guys that create with the IP versus the IP itself. So you kind of have like these two layers of developers and a brand. So what we try to do is take those two layers and make them kind of like publicly available. I won't bore you with too much text, but basically our world that we're sharing is going on to very popular, very familiar IPs like Pokemon and a mix between kind of like Pokemon and Dungeons and Dragons. Why work with an IP, I guess? Devs usually have a kind of like distinct set of skills. Mostly they don't want to, like as weird as this sounds for like creator, not every creator wants to deal with designs and concepts and all of the kind of hats they need to wear to build a product. They sometimes just have like a toy or a game prototype that they want to work on. So we basically provide these devs resources and I guess like access to these concepts and designs, but we also give them access to like resources and a growing community and kind of reduce the amount of, I guess, like different hats that they need to wear, reduce the amount of kind of like new disciplines that are relevant to their product development, but kind of on a like implication. So like they really want to make a toy, but now they have to do marketing and like really develop concepts, and we can help them reduce some of that. So at the moment, we're about 5 teams working on about 7 different products. Our IP, I should have probably gone into more detail, but I kind of touched on it. We're basically like Pokemon in a D&D world. So we've got a few layers of NFTs that we use to first kind of like set it's like set a brand association, build a community, and we have like a separate way of using our or maintaining the ownership of this that I might get into later. But we've got a card collection. It's one of the first Web3 card collections from 2021. It's a digital collectible where users are incentivized to collect the entire series. We use the collection progress to distribute our tokens. Our ecosystem token is the Hachi token, which you can gain through interacting or engaging with our brand in kind of like any way, or as a playing our games or collecting our cards. And the token, or in turn, the user becomes the brand owner. So yeah, we've got about 7 products in our ecosystem at the moment. Starts with our card collections. Then we've got actually a really ambitious plan. We kind of have like a, I guess you could look at us in two layers, similar to what I was suggesting is like the IP and the developer. In our ecosystem, anybody can use the IP to make anything. And we try to do more than just give them concepts. Like I suggested, we also add a bunch of resources. Our internal ambition is what we kind of consider like this holy trinity model, where we could take a NFT, your profile, one we're familiar with in Web 2, where you customize your character and jump into a world where your character is a symbol of your progress in that world and that ecosystem, where like the big achievements you have represent themselves in like gear that you might equip your character with, and then kind of like flaunt as you like traverse the rest of the world or different experiences. In our Trinity model, we've got kind of like the player profile, and we'd like to also build really a very ambitious project that we're working on is our MMO. We're bootstrapping, and we were never able to get funding. We started in 2021 with really ambitious goals. Because we couldn't achieve, we couldn't kind of like access the resources we wanted, we had to adjust our model a little bit. So we kind of got like, I guess, like release roadmap internally of breaking down our ambitious objective into milestones that we can kind of like release something to market and potentially bring in some revenue and get out of the game. So in our MMO, yeah, man, that's
Sorry,
my
just real quick.
timer.
No, you're good. You're good. I didn't want to interrupt your flow, but you have 3 minutes, my friend.
Thank you. I'll try and wrap it up. Thank you for letting me know. So yeah, guys. So we kind of have a whole bunch of components that come together to make the MMO, and we try to break them up into different products at kind of like meaningful enough milestones. So the very first game in our ecosystem is a game we call Hachi Rampage. If you're familiar with Vampire Survivors or like Survival.io, these kind of like roguelike games, it's very similar to those. It's on mobile. We have tournaments and some Web3 rewards to kind of like boost retention and engagement. But for the most part, this is a way of us showing off all of our monsters. So far, you should be able to see we've chosen to do it in 3D. I might have a little bit better video that I'll attempt to show. This is the launch trailer. Whoop. And yeah, it's on mobile, coming out very soon. I'll try to reduce the volume a little bit. And yeah, in this one, we're basically showing off our different monsters and the way that they kind of like interact in the world. All of these monsters with all of their animations in their game-ready asset form are all available to all creators without any restriction, no upfront cost, and only a small licensing fee after 300K earnings. So this is our very first game. Another big component in our kind of like more ambitious RPG objective is like player characters. And we've got actually an NFT that we're just about to release that I've got a little trailer video for as well. At the moment, we're looking for, I guess, like different people to collaborate with to help us promote the release of a couple of those games coming out. And especially this avatar, it was mentioned we're on Avalanche. We're also on a few more systems. That NFT follows you around in all of your kind of progress in the ecosystem. This is a I'm not going to let this play because I think my time's up, but we've got the customizations that you have on the NFT also express themselves in our games. Arcania is a mobile-like battle game, also on mobile, also just about to release. There's a few of these releases that have kind of piled up for us. We're a little bit insecure about releasing at the moment. So we're looking for more people to collaborate with that we can kind of like maximize our release. At the moment, we're just in the perpetual refining and polish. You guys are probably familiar with that. But yeah, ultimately, we'd love to compete with Pokemon as a collective of devs in kind of like a free build kind of way. And yeah, thanks, guys. And maybe if there's any questions.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Panelists, judges, audience members. You got any questions for our friend Souls?
Yeah, there seems to be a lot to unpack. So from what I understand, you want to create an open IP. But within that IP, it's you guys building the 7 games right now. Is that correct?
Yeah, you could say that. It's a decentralized IP. It's essentially an open IP. We do have 7 projects in our ecosystem at the moment. They're not all built by us. We do try to be super collaborative with our team. And in many cases, we take on devs that don't have the full production pipeline. Like they haven't got all of their roles filled. You can imagine most devs, they're kind of like, especially indie devs, which these days there's quite a few available since like Unity and Unreal focus on creating devs, like products at that category, like the engine. They just make it really easy. But then you've got a whole bunch of people that have these like ambitious goals and can make games, but now they have to go and learn art, which is like a completely different discipline. There are quite a few tools out, especially these days, but it still comes with quite a bit of extra effort in kind of like a deviating direction. So we take those, I guess, like those burdens off of devs, and we say like, here's a bunch of art, you can go straight in. Here's a bunch of people familiar with that world, looking for extra experiences, and here's like a reduction in cost for development, a reduction in cost in marketing, and just allowing you to focus on your own passionate project, I guess, like your own passion project, or just getting your product out. At the moment, we are actually 4 separate teams, but we kind of work as a unit because we sometimes fill in each other's roles, and we use Web3 to kind of manage the rev share part. So we kind of like can do work and then trade these tokens around, helping us kind of seamlessly collaborate, I guess.
Okay, and so none of the IP elements are forcefully. The royalty part is not enforced, meaning that not all assets are already NFTs that then encapsulate all of the assets themselves, and there is also no specific way to enforce the royalties for people using the assets, correct? So that part is not decentralized and it's not being managed by a DAO right now.
Yeah. So yeah, these are actually interesting stories. I don't want to go into it too much, but for the most part, what you're saying is true. We do have some like economic implication because basically our biggest consumers become the biggest owners of the brand. In that way, your customer base is also the people that you are kind of liable to. So there is this opportunity there for quite a bit of regulation, just because the audience is much more likely to be aware of this, and they have the expectation as well. So you most likely don't want to burn your biggest audience. So as much as we don't enforce at that layer, we try to see that non-enforcement both as a kind of like realization of the limitations we have of how these systems go across different like technologies. Sometimes we have to have this social side. Yep.
Sorry, guys. I was just going to say, to make sure we're staying on time, I may have us move the rest of the question and answer session to the stage text channel, if that's okay.
Of course.
Saul, thank you, by
Cheers,
the
man.
way.
Thanks,
Thank you
guys.
for sharing your project. Appreciate you, man. All right. Whew! Folks, we did it. Okay? We did it. Now you know what time it is. I'm going to type out the names of the projects that presented today. If you could do me a favor, don't type in chat just for a second. Just hold on and chat. I got to type these names out. Stick with me. Thank you. Hey, Chef. We got Mosh Pit. We have Unfamiliar Territory. I can spell. Look at me. And make sure I spell Hatchieverse right. Hatchieverse. Ooh, someone already doing it for me? JRP's already doing it for me. Look at that. But then how are you going to vote, JRP? Come on now. There you go. I did it for you. Okay, so this is how it works, folks. So you've seen a handful of games. I want you to select what you felt was the most interesting or novel and react to it in the stage chat. Whoever receives the most amount of votes will be moving on to our demo day finale. Date, time to be determined. You will be joining, so you know your competition. You will be joining The Uprising, TCG, as well as Generative Dungeon, the RPG. Ooh, it's close. It's close. Ooh, Hey Chef is winning by 1. Hey Chef's winning by 2. Hey Chef's winning by 2. Yes. All right. So go ahead. We'll call it. Hey Chef just keeps getting votes. Okay. We're going to call it. Hey Chef is moving on to the finale. So before we shut this thing down, I want to do a quick round of thank yous. First, to every last game that presented. So we had the Uprising, Land Labor Capital, Game Land, Puzzle Space, Founder Dead, Hatchieverse, Cosmic Exodus, Conquest Discord, Shades of Sin, Shadow of Farinor, World War Dow, Ecoland, Generative Dungeon, SoCan Beat Battle, Hey Chef, Mosh Pit, Unfamiliar Territory. You guys are exceptional. Thank you for taking time and sharing your projects with us. Also, a round of shout outs for our panelist judges. So we had Andrew Friday, Max Torres, Investor Bryn, JRP, Frederico Kessler, Sam over at Sequence, Sandbox. I'm missing anybody in there? Dante over at Scale, Fluke, of course. Can't forget our friend Fluke. And then finally, our sponsors. 45 days ago, this was just an idea. We said, hey, let's do a demo day. And the amount of support we've seen for early stage builders in Web3 has been tremendous. So thank you to our sponsors. In no particular order, Sequence, Blockchain Game Alliance, Arbitrum, Game 7 DAO, Knights of the Ether, Web3GG, Kalman's Forge, BlockSafe, The Round Table. With that said, you've seen 17 games across 13 genres, across about 3.5 hours of demos. Let's shut this thing down. Appreciate all of you. Thank you for showing up. Hopefully you had fun. Let me know if you want to do more of these. And y'all have a great day.
Yeah, thanks for organizing.